I am a 6th grade in-person and 8th grade virtual math teacher at Nowlan Middle School. I want to address some concerns I have about the proposed 4-day school week for next year and how it affects us in the district. To be clear, I would support the shift to a 4-day week because I see and respect the goals the district wants to achieve. However, I do have questions and concerns that have yet to be fully explained and addressed. I want to focus on the extended school day being proposed. It has been stated that the school day is to be extended in order to meet the hours requirements put forth by the state of Missouri. According to DESE's website, students are required to have 1,044 hours of time in school each year. I did the math. At 1,044 hours in a year and 150 school days, which is the minimum number of days proposed by the district's 4-day week, students would need to be in school for just under 7 hours each day. Our current school day has students attending just over 7 hours a day. This means our current daily schedule is sufficient to cover the state required hours without any modification to the time students are in school. In the recently released FAQs, it mentioned not including passing time as part of this calculation for hours, but the DESE schedule calculation tool does not take these out. It is all included as part of the school day according to DESE. Another argument is that extending the school day will add value to the students' learning, but I do not believe that it does. As teachers, we have a certain number of topics to teach our students, and adding 5 minutes to each class period will not enable us to add additional topics on any given day. It just gives us 5 more minutes in the room to maybe give students an extra practice problem or a little extra support. It simply will not be value added. And while I have plenty of ideas on what could add value, that is outside the scope of my focus for tonight. The extension of the school day has potential negative impacts to staff, students, and their families. I read the survey feedback extensively. Our older students are concerned that they will no longer be able to take evening work shifts because the extension of the school day will prevent them from working the hours required by most bosses before labor laws would require them to go home. And without the ability to work evening shifts, it would be far more difficult for them to find an amiable coworker to trade shifts with when a snow day requires them to miss a Monday shift now and then. For our younger students, some will get to spend that time at home, either with parents, siblings, or other family members, but some will need those 5th day activities being considered by the district. For those students, that means a considerably higher amount of time spent outside of their homes where they're most comfortable and able to truly rest. When it comes to parents, many have expressed concerns about childcare, and I do see that the district is planning many different accommodations for this, and I greatly appreciate that. I'm just hoping that the 5th day will be at no cost to our families, because if it does come at a cost, I know many will have no other choice but to lean on other family members or older siblings. We have a large percentage of families in this district who do need care. Unfortunately, we live in a country that does not provide universal care to children while parents are at work. That is not a problem for the district to fix, but it is a problem that we face. So I hope we are able to face it in a way that does not further disenfranchise any of our families. There's also been talk about how this would impact staff leave. 69% of the staff who answered the survey indicated their well-being as a benefit of the 4-day week. I know it was recently stated that our leave would not be impacted, but staff also received notice that this was because our leave would be shifting to hours rather than days. Having Monday off is nice for the things we can schedule, but I cannot ask my son to schedule his sick days on Mondays. And we are not getting a reprieve on the extended day. In fact, we would actually have 19 more hours per year than we do now. Again, I did the math. The time is just being shifted around, and it would be compounded by those who would be working on the 5th day in an effort to cushion their paychecks. And while the need for better teacher pay is another systemic issue, and outside the scope of my focus tonight, we need to acknowledge it exists and that many staff members will work that 5th day. And the only way that staff will see any true hours benefit is if that day is not extended. To conclude, a wide body of research suggests that working excessive hours, whether per week or even per day, can have detrimental effects to our physical and mental health. Asking staff to work longer hours, asking kids to be grinding in a classroom longer, asking kids to go even longer between their early lunch shift and dinner. These will all have a negative impact on our overall health over time. And it all looks great if you only look at the overall structure of the calendar, but a closer look reveals the flaws. So I believe that we can absolutely make the 4-day week work, but an extended school day simply is not necessary nor helpful. Thank you for your time.